What's poppin', my J dolls? And I'm back with another video. Before we get into this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe and ring that bell. You guys, we're on the road to 3,000 subscribers, so don't play with us because we ain't never been one of them. And if you ain't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. It is free 99. And if you still don't subscribe, you a hater. Tell it with your mama, because why she raised you like that, period. Anyways, y'all, today I'm doing a story time. What I've learned about YouTube be sticking me in the algorithm, okay? So make sure you really support me. Put a comment down in the comment box. I don't care if you put an emoji, you put a commenting for algorithm. I don't care what you comment, but you please put your girl up in the algorithm. But y'all love my dating story time. So today I'm going to tell you a story time about me dating a crazy Gemini. A wishy-washy Gemini. Highly do not recommend dating a Gemini man. I'm sorry. Okay, so in this title I'm probably gonna say like he almost let me die, okay? And I'm gonna let y'all know. So it's gonna be a build-up. I'm gonna just tell y'all our whole dating situation, and I made a little story times about him, but not in details, okay? So mind you, I met this Gemini. I'm gonna call him Gemini the whole time, okay? I met Gemini like when I was 19, okay? When I was 19, he was literally my second boyfriend of life, okay? So when I met Gemini, like the first time we got into a relationship, mind y'all, okay, it's gonna be a little raw, it's gonna be a little ratchet. I hope y'all ready. This brings me back to my old days or whatever. But when I was 19, I was a little frisky because I had just lost my virginity, okay? I just lost it at, I actually just lost it at 19, honestly. So anyhow, when I met Gemini, and I met this man on Tinder. Why was I on Tinder? God bless my soul. But I met this man on Tinder or whatever, and he had took me on a date. I remember like we had went on a date. This is so many years ago, but we had went on a date to the Union in downtown. He took me to the Union. He was super sweet. I think he had picked me up, or we had went on 2 dates. I don't know, but I know he took me to the Union. I would never forget our first date, because this was like my first love. And then when y'all gonna get it. So this is my first love or whatever. So like we first meet, he take me to the Union, super sweet guy, but he tells me on the first date he wants to eat my cat. And I'm about to say that because YouTube be flagging, okay? He told me he wants to eat my cat on the first date. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. Like, blase. So, the second date comes around, okay? And he said, no, actually, I think the first date I drove, no cap. Because I don't think he had a car yet. I think the second date, he ended up having a car because his dad bought him a car. His dad lived in Africa, and he bought him a car, and it was like a Cadillac, okay? So anyways, y'all, the second date, he drove us, and we went somewhere else, okay? And that day, he was like, okay, like, are you going to let me eat your cat? He asked me again on the second date, y'all. But I'm like, if you eat my cat, like, you're going to want to do something. And I don't really want to do that yet, okay? So, y'all, I gave in because the one thing about me is I love it, okay? Y'all know what I love it, okay? So I'm like, okay, you know what? Like, let's do it. I had no class back then. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna cap. So anyways, y'all, we did that. After we did that, we was stuck like glue. Like, we was with each other all the time. We was going on dates. We really were in love. We were going to parties together. Like, we was going to the club together. We were getting drunk together. Like, we was doing a lot, okay? Mind you, actually, I wasn't 19. Now that I think about it, he was 19. I was 21. Yes. Actually, he was 19. I was 21. So anyways, y'all, so boom, the first part of our relationship, we were really only together for almost 3 months, and then he was going to college. So I was already in college during this time, and I was inviting him to my college parties and stuff. Yes, this man was underage drinking, y'all. Like, I would get the liquor, my friends would have liquor. Like, I was underage drinking in college too, because I had older friends. So we was on party buses. Like, we was living the life. Like, I will put a clip of us on the party bus if it doesn't have his face in it, because that was years ago. Like, he don't even look the same. But I'm gonna put a clip of us on the party bus. I don't even look the same. So anyways, boom, our relationship is going good, going great, okay? This is the thing about Gemini, is like they are lovey-dovey, they are clingy, and then next thing you know, they turning on you. Like they don't want nothing to do with you. Like they're so wishy-washy. So at this time, I'm in love because I never experienced love before. And then he's going to go out of state for college. He tells me that he will stay here for me and stuff like that if I don't want him to go. And I'm like, no, I would never tell you not to go. Like, that's real love. If somebody is like, I'm not going to tell you not to go to school, like, in another state for selfish reasons. So at this point, he's like, okay, cool. He's going out of state. We're going to try this long distance relationship thing. That's what I'm thinking. That's what he's thinking. But we're both rocky about that in the first place. So boom, y'all, it's time for him to move. I kind of told this in another story, but this goes all together on my Gemini's crazy partner, okay? So anyways, so after this had happened, he ends up moving to Illinois or whatever, which Illinois and Minnesota are very close, like 6-hour drive, so not really that far. But he ends up moving. I actually missed like a really big clip in here. By the way, I talk about this in my Less Trauma Bond podcast, Decentury Men. I talked about him a little bit. But he also had an addiction problem. And although he doesn't think he's an addict, he has a problem, okay? So anyways, when we were dating before, right, before he went to college, he had told me that he had took some acid, like a Uber driver had gave him some acid. I've talked about this in some other places, so if you're not new here. So the Uber driver literally gave him acid. This is what he told me, and then he ends up calling me when he gets home and tells me about how he's done acid, how all he can do is think about me and all these type of things, and how much he cares about me, and he doesn't want me to like ever leave him, all this type of stuff. Like he just keeps thinking about me. And I think he thought that was gonna turn me on, like, oh my gosh, you're thinking about me while you're on acid, like, oh my god, I love you so much. But it actually did the opposite. Like I start crying my eyes out, like I'm bawling on the phone, because y'all, if you don't know, I'm really against like drug use, and I was gonna be an addiction counselor actually after high school, but I just decided not to because I got triggered by all the addicts. But like I'm really against that type of thing. So I've grown up around like addicts and stuff, so I started crying where I was like, I'm not gonna talk to you no more. Like I don't ever want you to call me again. I don't ever want to see you again. Like no. So I like hung up on him, and he's like, oh no, like trying to fight for me back. And so like the next day he like apologizes to me and all this type of stuff, y'all, and he wants me back. And I started feeling bad because he told me he will never do it again, and he like apologized, whatever. So I'm like, okay, like am I overdoing it? Let me just give this man another chance. This is acid. This is not crack. This is not heroin. Okay, I gotta say it like that because this is YouTube. So I'm like, okay, maybe I'm overreacting. So anyways, we continue after this. So we continuing for a while after this. He's about to move. He doesn't, the day that he's moving, I said, hey, I need to see you before you leave. Like, I really want to just see you before you leave. He's like, oh, well, I got to work. Like, I have to make this money. Like, I literally need money for, like, my drive. This is this. And I'm like, yeah, but you, like, need to make time to see me. Like, even after work on the money. He's like, well, I got to drive early in the morning. Like, he was just making excuses. Like, nigga, I don't care what you got to do. Like, you need to see me ASAP Rocky. Or we gonna get real rocky in here, okay? So yeah, I did have a controlling issue back then for sure. Very anxious, attached person. So he was like, oh, you know, I'm not gonna see you. So I keep blowing his phone down and he not answering. And then his phone butt down me. Like his phone butt down me, and I could hear like a little ruckless. So I knew he was really at work. So the anxious me text him a long text message, practically telling him I want to break up. We we done. He doesn't even respond, okay? He doesn't respond, and then when he does respond, it's like when he's already in Illinois, which is like, you know, manipulation tactic, like, let me avoid her till I get there so that I don't have to see her type stuff. So he's like, oh, I apologize, and like, to have put you through this, blah, 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 through the text message. And then I'm like, oh no, I want my man back. And then when I try to get him back, it was like he went ghost, y'all. I didn't know my work back then, so baby, just take this whole story with a grain of salt. So anyways, y'all, so literally he goes ghost. I end up hitting him up again randomly, like some months later, a year later, something like, hey, like, you know, I would like to, or did he hit me up first? No, I think I hit him up first. I said, hey, you know, I want to talk to you, you know, like, I just want to see, like, talk to you about how everything ended and, like, you know, like, get some closure. Closure's not real. So he was like, oh, before I said that, I was like, oh, I want to talk to you, whatever. He was like, oh, what do you want to talk to me about? And I'm like, what do you mean, what do you want to talk to me about? Like, okay, never mind. And then he was like, oh, well, if you do want to talk, you can call me anytime. After that, I just never called him, right? So, mind you, I was 21 at the time. Me and him rekindled when I was 20. Because right now, I'm 28, about to be 29. So, we rekindled when I was 27, y'all. So, we rekindled like 2 years ago. And this is when I seen the craziness, okay? So how we rekindle, which is crazy, y'all. Y'all go think I'm crazy, but I cannot make this spirituality stuff up. So you have to be really careful what you manifest, because what you manifest really can come true, and it can come true so fast, and you don't know what you're manifesting. So y'all, I'm a little crazy too. So anyways, y'all, there was this one reading that I was watching, and the girl was like, okay, if there's an ex you want to manifest, like manifest the ex now. But be careful who you manifest, you know, like, because it can just be like a lesson, you know. So anyways, y'all, why did I say this man's name? I'm not making this up. Like, I don't think he even knows this, but like, he does know that I get readings and stuff, because he literally, I'll tell y'all that, he looked through my notebook of a reading that I got. He was like, what is this? So anyways, so y'all, boom. So the reading was like, okay, just say the name you want to manifest. I say this man's name because, mind you, back then when I was 21, we had a good relationship outside of the fact that he went ghost, okay, and didn't communicate with me during that time. And outside of the acid situation, everything else was really good. Like, we were like, maybe because we, like, was a lot of partying involved with it, I don't know. So we also had a lot of times when we didn't party, but anyways, that ain't even the point. So boom, I say his name. Why does he literally add me on Facebook a week later? Not even a week. I don't even think it was a full week. This man literally messaged me out of nowhere. Mind you, he lived in Illinois. I live in Minnesota. He ends up messaging me like, hey, I just literally got back. Just got back to Minnesota a couple of days ago. I've been thinking about you. Like, I would love to like talk to you and like see you in person, take you out. So I was like, whoa, I'm telling you, baby, this stuff be for real. Like, people really think you're crazy. Like, I just, even the things about me, y'all, when I think of a person, when I think of a random person, like literally a person that I don't even know a lot about, or they just, their name pops up in my head, they always end up following me on Instagram like literally the next day, or they always be in my notifications the next day. Like, it's a weird thing, y'all. I am a spiritual girly, and I be getting messages. I'm just telling you. So boom, this man reaches out, asks me to go out. So I'm like, okay. At this time, I had just got out of my relationship with London. Y'all already see London. Y'all seen when I went back to Switzerland recently, like last year. So y'all know that situation, okay? So I had just got out of a relationship with London. So I'm like, okay, well, like, I'm interested to see what he has to say, Gemini, because I haven't talked to him since I was 21. That was dating that 6 years ago, so I don't even know what's tea. So anyways, y'all, we go on this date. He takes me to Red Cow, which is in North Loop. So we went there. It's actually a nice pizza place. Like, it's actually like has a fancy kind of area where you can have like flatbread pizzas. They also sell like other dinner options and stuff, and wine and stuff like that. So anyways, we go there. So anyhow, y'all, not Red Cow, it was something else. So we had went to this restaurant. Everything's cool, but when I'm on the date with him, something is weird with him. Okay, there's a couple things. Like, he's weird in general. And this is so funny because it made me remember that he was weird as heck. The one thing about a Gemini is they're weird. Like, they have a quirky, weird personality. And they're, like, antisocial people. Like, so they're kind of awkward sometimes. So, anyways, like, we're talking and stuff. And I'm like, he looks good. You know, I was a big girl, so I couldn't say nothing. He had gained a lot of weight, though, from, like, the time I first met him to, like, when I met him at 27, okay, y'all? Because, like, when I first met him, he was skinny. Mind you, when I was a big girl, I used to be 326 pounds. Like, I was dating skinny people, and I mean like this, like a stick, okay? I was laying on remotes. Like, baby, I was laying on remotes, and I felt so comfortable. So, like, when I see him, I was like, okay, like, he's, like, giving grown man. Like, he got bigger. But it didn't look bad on him, but it just looked like that, like, in that time frame, he had gained a lot of weight. But he was good looking, nice cut, like, he cute, he fine. I ain't gonna lie, the man is good looking. You can never take that from that man, okay? So anyways, so I'm like, okay, cool. And probably by then too, I had gained a lot of weight. Now that I think about it, because when we was in college, I was big still. I was always a big girl, but like I got even bigger. So yeah, so we both got bigger. So anyways, y'all. So we were on there the day talking. Everything's cool. We get in the car, y'all. So we get in the car and we start talking. We get in my car, I think. Or we were in his car. We might have been in his car. We might have been his car. So anyways, y'all, we get in his car and we talking and stuff. He practically tells me that he's not ready for a relationship right now. Like he wants to like hang out with me and take me on dates and date me, but like he just got out of a relationship like a few months ago. And I'm like 6 months ago or whatever. And then I'm like, oh yeah, like me too. Like I just got a relationship like 2 months ago. Like it was like very fast that I just got a relationship. But mind you, this is like the second time me and like London broke up. So it was like, we knew it was done forever. So anyways, me and Gemini was like, okay, so we're gonna try this casual thing. As people that used to be in a relationship, like we're both crazy. So anyways, we get in the back seat. I'm giving y'all all the tea because I didn't even say this on the other side. Also freaky deaky stuff. Mind you, like I had just got off work like when we went out, so I didn't feel fresh. Like I'm not gonna lie and cap to y'all, like I didn't feel fresh or anything. I didn't really want to be doing that. And I like told him like he's like, oh, it's okay, whatever. So anyways, y'all, we in the back seat, y'all. When we start kissing, he start touching them areas. I used to be a freak. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie to you. Now it's been like 8 months, 9 months. But anyways, so we do that in the back seat, but none comes out of it because we're like, oh no, like we ain't gonna do that right here, right now. Nah. So anyways, we ain't do nothing. Do. So after this, y'all, he asked us to hang out with me again. The thing about Gemini, he is always the one to say, hey, let's do this. Hey, let's go here. Let's do this. And maybe, like, I don't know, because I feel he did have friends, but I feel like the thing about a Gemini is they get attached to you. Like, even if they don't like you like that, they still have attachment issues. Okay, they're very clingy. So, anyhow, he asked me to go out again. Now, mind you, this is the red flag. I should have paid attention to it. I told y'all this another video. This might be 2 parts. I'm not sure. But the red flag is on the second date, he texts me like, oh, like, do you want to go to the movies? I want to go see this movie. Let me tell you a thing about a Gemini. And now that I have a Gemini friend that's a woman that loves to go to the movie theaters, I really think it's a Gemini thing. I don't know. Like, I got to meet some more Geminis to confirm it. But Geminis love freaking movies. Like, going to the movie theaters. And I don't. I have a low attention span. Like, I don't like movies. Like, and he started making me hate movies. But that's not even the point. The point is right now is, in the movies plays a part in with me almost dying. Okay, let's just actually clear that up, because this movie thing is important. So he asked me for the second date to go to the movies or whatever, and I'm like, okay, sure, like we can do that, whatever. And then he was like, oh, just know that you're gonna pay this time. Like, this time is on you. I just want you to know. I'm gonna pay for what? I'm gonna pay for what? Clear air. What am I paying for? Because I don't pay for nothing. I don't pay for nothing. I don't pick up no bills. Besides the bills I pay for my rent and my car notes and my other necessities. I don't pick up no date bills. Never did, never will. Now I had to go back and think, like, maybe when we were in college, maybe we did 50-50 sometimes. But like I said, that was at 19, so I cannot even recall. 21. I cannot recall. Everybody after that has literally paid the bill, y'all. And that's probably because I date all Africans. But what I learned when I got on TikTok is dudes from Ghana is the cheapest type of man you can have. And he was from Ghana. Because my Nigerian man, he would never let me touch a check. He would never let me pay a bill. I didn't even know how to spell bill. Okay? So I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. And mind you, my London nigga never touch a check. Never touch a bill. Okay? So I'm like, oh, no. So I text him back. I'm like, oh, no, like, we don't even gotta go. Because you could have just told me you don't have no money. Okay? It would be different if you had came to me in a way like, I don't really have money. Like, Like, can we either push it back, or like, can you help me out on this? But just tell me that I have to pay for something is crazy. So I go off on him. I'm like, you can forget about me. You can forget about me. I'm in your dreams, not night. So then he messaged me back, and he was like, oh, bro, like, it's not that serious. Like, he didn't say bro, but he was like, oh, it's not that serious. Like, I have the money. Like, I can pay. Like, do you still want to go? So I'm like, I was talking to my coworkers and stuff like that. My coworkers like, you probably over-exaggerated, girl. Like, some people believe in 50-50. Mind you, this is a white coworker. A lot of white people do 50-50. More white people do 50-50 than you think. I'm not going to cap. But, like, when they get married, that's usually when, like, the 50-50 stops and the woman usually stays home. But, like, during the dating, white women be picking up them checks. And white women also be carrying men's bags and stuff. Like, I'm just telling you, I don't know if it's always the gender roles in the right community. But when you come from Africa, y'all, first of all, I'm African American, but when you come from Africa, it's a standard, it's a culture. Just like if you come from the Middle East, Middle East? No, yeah. When you come from the Middle East or certain cultures, it is just the man is a leader and they pay. But America, not so much. So anyways, she's telling me like, oh, maybe he just wanted to check. Some people do believe in 50-50, so maybe he didn't know. La la la. I don't think that's a good reason. This is why you listen to your first mind, your intuition. God was showing me on the second day, leave it alone. Clips, cut the man off and go with your life because it's going to get worse. Okay, so anyways, that's our hiccup. He ends up paying for the date. After this, we have a conversation. I tell him, hey, I don't go 50-50. I don't believe in 50-50. Like, the most I would do is 70-30. 70-30 is the least I will. That is the most that I would do, actually. Like, the most. And at that, usually I don't even do that. And so anyways, he was like, okay, well, you know, we talked about it. We agree on it, whatever. He was like cool with it. Like, he had to be cool with it because if you want to stick around me and have access to all this, you gonna have to be cool with it. Okay, I got bills to pay. This, mind you, this man literally he had a car, but he was staying with his mama. He did just move down here. He had a job, but he was staying with his mama. Like, why is you up here telling me like to pay? I have rent, a car note, insurance. I have bills, big bills. You still live with your mama. Like, yes, you pay a little portion of the rent, and I know how much you pay. You pay like 10% of the rent. Please, baby. If I was paying that, I'd be rich. So, anyways, we settled this. Okay, let me tell y'all when the crazy stuff gets into play. Let's talk about when the crazy stuff gets to play. Like, our relationship was like already very like rocky because, like, truthfully, he didn't like me and I didn't like him, and there's a bunch of things that literally played up to like realizing that like I really think he liked to being around me because he can always be in my space because I have my own apartment and he was living with his mama, right? So a lot of times he could come to my house and just like get to drink. Every time he was at my house, he was drinking. Like, he was drinking beer or he was drinking hard liquor. He would always bring liquor. Every single time he was at my house, he would drink every day. Like, seriously. And this is why I say like he's an addict, okay? So he was drinking all the time. And mind you, this was before I had weight loss surgery, y'all. I had weight loss surgery almost 2 years ago. So this was before that. So I was drinking with him, and then it would be poor. So I'd be like, I don't feel like drinking today. Like, you can drink, like, and then he'll be just drinking a beer, like, after work. It was just like he always had a drink, and he vaped. Like, he always had to vape all the time, and then he would occasionally smoke weed. Like, he had a problem with substances in general. Like, it was very clear. So one day, and mind you, on our first day, he kept going to the bathroom. I just want to bring that to attention. Like, he kept going to the bathroom, and I'm like, he tend to do that a lot when he's drinking. So I don't know if it's just because he's drinking. I know alcohol makes you use the bathroom a lot, or if he was doing other substances. I'm not saying he was, but I'm just saying I don't know. So anyways, one day we played this game, and this is why I tell you, like, I'm very intuitive. I get messages randomly, questions to ask. So we're playing this game, and then he keeps getting drug cards. So like, this game is called Let's Get Deeper or something like that, and it's the couples edition, After Dark or whatever. So he keep getting questions like, have you ever tried like Molly? Have you ever tried? Yeah, he has. Have you ever tried Coca-Cola? Yes, he has. So when he says yes to that, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, really, like, da da da. So like, at this point, I'm starting to panic okay? Because I'm like, oh my God, you done Coca-Cola. Like, I should just leave this man alone. This is the second red flag that comes up that I'm like, oh my God, I need to leave this man alone. Like, what is going on? And then I just literally get a question in my head. This is a different time we played this game. But there was a different time we played this game, and the question came up. It was no question in the game. I just randomly asked him. I was like, oh, I want to ask you something. Have you ever had somebody get an abortion before, or been with somebody that had an abortion? I don't know what made me ask this man this question, because I've never asked another man this question ever in my life. Spirit led me to ask this question. And he's like, oh, yeah, well, like, I didn't want her to have one, but she wanted one. She was in school, and like, I really wanted the child. Like, I thought it was going to be better for me and all this stuff. So I'm like overload tonight. I found out about the Coca-Cola. I found out about a baby that was aborted. I found all this stuff out in one night. So what I ended up doing was like thinking on this, like, oh my gosh, maybe I should leave him alone. Mind you, the card said, like, have you ever tried Coca-Cola? It didn't say, are you doing it right now or anything. Like, it said, did you try it? So I had a lot of questions with him about it, and that night it was just really weird for me. So I was like, okay, I need to revisit this tomorrow, because Coca-Cola is actually terrible, y'all. I never tried it. Literally the only thing I ever tried was alcohol and a little weed, okay? That's about it. Like, that's about it. That's all I'm touching, period. Maybe had a little lamb. I don't do no shroom. I don't do no Coca-Cola. I don't do none of, I don't care if y'all think it's acceptable. I don't do no little pop them. None of that. And I don't care, like, that is still C-rack behavior. And y'all know what I mean. I can't say too much. So anyways, y'all, I'm thinking like, oh my God, he is C-rack. Like, oh my gosh, like, I need to get out of here. Because y'all do understand that Coca-Cola is a form of C-R-A-C-K, right? Okay. Anyways, a lot of y'all don't really know what y'all even putting up your nose, but that ain't my job, okay? I ain't going that field. So anyways, y'all, at this point, I'm like, okay, I really should stop talking to him and stuff. At the time, I was in therapy, so I was telling my therapist and stuff, and she's like, well, he said he tried it. Maybe he doesn't do it all the time. Like, do you feel like you should have a conversation with him about it? You said you really like this person. And I'm like, I think I should run, because I'm a runner. She's a track star. She gonna run away when it gets hot. She gonna get started. I don't know the rest of the song, but yes. So I always break it off very prematurely. So I say, you know what? Maybe I should listen to my therapist. I don't think I should have, but I was like, maybe I should listen to my therapist, because I do need to learn how to communicate, and I need to learn how to see certain things through, even when it's like not at the best times. Because how do I think I'm gonna be in a committed relationship if we can't communicate and we can't get through things? So at this point, we have a conversation about it. He tells me that he just don't be around here looking for no Coca-Cola or nothing like that. Like, if it was at a party, would he take it at a party? Sure, if it was offered to him, but he doesn't go around looking for it or doing that on a daily basis. So I'm like, okay, you have a problem now. So at this point, I know that he is like, I think it's because of the way he grew up, and that's not my story to tell, but like the way he grew up, it was like he always was like really under a lot of strict rules and regulations. He didn't really have a mother figure for a little while. So it's kind of like, I think he was just lost a lot. And then now knowing the whole situation with the abortion, like, he probably was going through a lot mentally that I didn't know. I don't even know the timeline of when the girl had the abortion and stuff like that. So it could have been very close to when we started dating. But anyhow, a couple problems in our relationships when I started to realize, okay, he's crazy. So now, mind you, he did some sweet things. I don't want to sit here and discredit the man. I was with the man for a reason. Like, he took me on dates a lot. He paid most of the time. He gave me a nice Valentine's Day. Like, got me a huge card. He got me a teddy bear. He got me flowers. He took me to a restaurant. He got me chocolate. He was super sweet. Like, he had his sweet moments, but he wasn't affectionate. So we had a lot of intimate issues. Like, let's see. Where do we start when I realized he was crazy? So first of all, y'all, and this is just like all of our issues. Like, the dying part is gonna be at the end, okay? Because it wraps up a lot of the stuff. So anyways, y'all, we had an issue before I went to Mexico. So I was going to Mexico, and like I said, y'all, I was a week. Okay, so before Mexico, he was dropping me off to the airport or whatever, as he should. And the night before, you know, we was about to do the do. Okay, mind you, he started getting to the point where he didn't like to eat the cat no more. Mind y'all, remember when I said when he was 19 he would like to eat the cat, but now he didn't like eat the cat for some reason. Like, it was just like always a thing. Like, he would do it sometimes, and then sometimes he wouldn't do it, and then he would be like, okay, like shower before and then do it. And then like he just like had, to me personally, I feel like he was just immature, you know. And mind you, he is younger than me, so like if I'm 27 at the time, he had to be 25, maybe 24 or something like that, 25, 24. So he's a little immature. So I'm thinking like, okay, I don't like this, because any other man I was with before, they gonna just do it. I don't even gotta ask. Like, they gonna just do it, because that's how you start the ignition. Like, we're not going, this car is going nowhere fast if the ignition is not started. Especially if I've been with you for a minute, baby. Like, this car is not going to be on go. It's gonna be out of gas. So please get it together. So we would have times where it's like, he was pleasing himself. Like, everything was about him. Like, what he wanted to do. Like, every time we go somewhere, it's where he wanted to go. Every time when it's like, we are about to do it, like, it's like when he feel like eating the cat. Like, and I don't know if this stems from like when we were, when he was 19, I was 21, when I told him that he wasn't good at eating the cat. It could be because we had a situation, y'all. Because he, remember I told y'all he kept begging me. So he said he was the best and all this stuff. And he wasn't. So I was like, whoa, you just got my hopes up. Like, so I had to be honest with him. But now I'm learning that men's pride cannot really take certain things, because like, you have to like deliver in a different way. You only got to tell them that they're not good. You just got to redirect them, you know. So I'm learning my communication. I'm learning. So I don't know if it was that. I don't know if he just didn't like doing it. I don't know if he just didn't think he was good at doing it. I don't know what his thing was. But it's like, baby, you're gonna piss me off. Don't piss me off. Don't piss me off. So y'all, it's the night before in Mexico, and he don't want to do it. Like, he wanna sleep together, but he don't want to eat the cat. So I'm like, nah, we're not sleeping together. Like, we're not. We're going to bed. And then he was like, oh, are you serious? Like, we're just not going. Nope, we're not. Good night. If you ain't eating this cat, baby, you ain't hitting it from the back, baby. Baby, we both going to sleep. We both gonna be mad then. We both gonna be mad then. So yes, we were mad before Mexico. I'm about to go all the way out of the country, and now I'm mad with my, that ain't even my, you know. So we say our goodbyes before we go to Mexico. We kiss, we hug. I'm pissed. Like, I'm mad. So now I'm talking to my friend. I'm like, oh, I can't believe this, man. Da 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 da. Like all of this, all of that, because I think we had to take 2 different airlines or something. I don't know what we had going on, but I'm like, this is that, blah blah blah, blah, like running it down, mad. So I get to Mexico, at the resort. I'm talking to random dudes that I'm literally trying to be my friend's wingman. So I'm talking to her guy's friend, like the guy she talked to, friend, and I'm telling him all about my problems. Like, I'm telling him about how Gemini didn't eat the cat. How, mind you, I'm off the liquor. You know, at a resort, you be having unlimited liquor. Like, I'm telling this man everything about Gemini. Like, so mad. And so he was like, oh yeah, like, you don't want like a, what did he say? A selfish lover. And that was such a good word that he used. Like, you don't want a selfish lover. But mind you, he was trying to talk to get in my pants. Talking about some, let's go upstairs. Like, all this talking about top got me feeling like, I said, baby, like, I'm over here worried about Gemini. I don't care about you, babes. I'm down here with you so my friend can be here with them. Like, I'm just keeping an eye on my friend. So anyways, y'all, so that was kind of like a main issue we had, was intimate issues. So we had an intimate issue. We had an issue with like not really him being like having substance issues. We were having issues, okay? So when it got really bad is when I had surgery, y'all. So y'all know I had weight loss surgery, and I do think now that I seen his ex, because I had looked up, like, I think somebody had messaged him or something. I'm a little crazy, but like, somebody messaged him on Snapchat, and then I went to look up the girl on Instagram, the Snapchat name, and I think it was his ex-girlfriend, and she was skinny. So to me, I don't know if he had a type, but like, I've been big the whole time I was with him. Like, I was big from beginning to end. So when I had got surgery, I felt like he didn't really want me to get surgery. And I don't know if it's because he had gotten bigger. I don't know what was going on, honestly. I really don't know what was going on. But he started acting weird. Like, from the beginning, from day one, he knew I was going to have surgery because we talked about it on our first date in the car. I'm like, hey, I just want you to know I'm going to do this. Like, I don't know how you're going to feel about it, but... And he's like, oh, no, like, it's fine, blah, blah, blah. And I think it's because he didn't think it was going to have nothing to do with him because he didn't even think we were going to make it that far, like, for that long. So he didn't really think it was going to be an issue. But once we got to this is when I realized he was crazy. So he was there for me like the first day in the hospital, which was really nice. Like, he brought me like a little globe with flowers and stuff like that. He was supposed to meet my mom that day, I think, but then he was late. So they was like, whatever. He ends up meeting my mom for the first time, and he says hi to her. She says hi. My mom's quiet. He's quiet. They're awkward. So it's like, okay, we're just all in this living room. But my friend was dropping my mama off, so it was like, cool. But the one thing I didn't like when he met my mom is like he had brought beer to my house and he opened a beer in front of my mom. My mom don't drink. Like, I drink in front of my mama though. But it's like, this is your first time coming around my mama, and like the first thing you do is like come sit on the couch, have a beer, be on your laptop. Like, ugh, I don't know why. I did not like that man. I started to hate his guts, and I really don't think he liked me. So let's get into it. So this is what I started noticing. He really, really didn't like me. So once I got out of surgery, like there was like scars. I had scars on my stomach. Like, they were really thick. So I was like, oh, you know, like, do you want to see my scars or something? I don't know why. And he's like, oh yeah. Like, so I showed him my scars, and he was like, oh wow, like it looked like you got shot. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, it looks like you got shot. So I'm now feeling like insecure about it. Like, oh my gosh, is these scars gonna go away? My scars completely, like, you cannot see my scars at all. My stomach is flat, just some skin that needs to be removed. So anyways, you know, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, am I gonna stay like this forever? Like, he was like trying to make me insecure, you know? So I was like, oh my gosh. So that was one thing, and I didn't realize until I started talking to somebody else about it, and they were like, when I said that, I was like, oh my gosh, like, I didn't realize how crazy that was. But yeah, he said that. Then, y'all, he literally had got mad at me because he wanted to go eat, right? So he wants to go eat. I'm like, oh, you know, I don't really want to go there with you to the restaurant because I'm on a liquid diet. Like, I was on a liquid diet. Like, I couldn't eat nothing but broth and water and protein shakes. Like, why do I want to go to a restaurant, you know? So he's like, oh, like, you can't even go there and like sit down and just be there with me. He's done this on 2 occasions. So the first occasion, I just met him in the, like, at this Hopkins restaurant while he ate, and we just talked and chilled. Which is like, okay, I get it. Like, our relationship, like, we did go out to eat a lot. We did drink. This is a huge adjustment to him too, so I'm trying to be understanding. And then a different situation is like, it was hot as hell outside, like, and you know that I just had surgery. I can't eat like that. And then you got me outside at this restaurant eating soup. So, like, I'm eating broth, and he's like, oh, like, is that all you're gonna be eating? Like, is that it? Like, I just, like, I'm like, yeah, like, that's why I told you, like, I didn't want to come here. You're gonna waste your money because this is, like, all I'm gonna be able to eat. Like, and he's like, okay, like, you just take it home. Like, his attitude probably to me is like, bro, like, you want me here, nigga. I didn't ask to be here, bro. Like, then y'all remember one day we went on a walk, and this is the things he would do. Like, we went on a walk, and mind you, I'm feeling like tired because I just like had surgery. Probably at this point, like a month ago, 2 months ago. Like, we can walk now. We walk around the whole lake, and I'm hot, I'm tired, or this might have been before surgery, I don't know. And I see all the other couples, like the other couples are holding hands, are so happy to be at the lake together. And then there's me and him. Like, we just look like we hate each other. Like, we look like a married couple that literally just have to be together because we don't want to pay for the divorce and we don't want to go through that and separate the kids. Like, that's what we were given. Like, we looked so frustrated with each other. And then we sat down and talked. I was like, you know, like, you see all these other couples, like, they're holding hands, like, they're kissing and stuff like this. I'm like, we're just here. And he was like, yeah, but we don't have to be like everybody else, and like we're just chilling. Like, we can't just enjoy the day. We can't whatever. And I'm like, bro, what did you talk about? So at this point, we start walking, and he starts walking ahead of me. This is what I noticed. Anytime I see a man, like, if I see you and you and your man together, and your man is walking ahead of you, or I see y'all recording yourself on YouTube and like he's walking ahead of you, I will tell you like he don't like you. And I just seen a TikTok video about this, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is confirmation. But when a man walks in front of you constantly, doesn't wait for you, and doesn't stand by your side, he does not like you. He does not care. Like, he's over you. So I'm like, okay, he irritated me, pissed me off. So I'm like, okay, you do your own thing, Dusty. So at this point, before we had started our walk, I seen some flowers, and he was like, okay, like, we're gonna get some flowers. I'm gonna get you some flowers before we leave. So I said, okay, like, that made me so bubbly, and like, okay. But then by the end of the day, I'm pissed off at you. So we already done did this walk. Now you done pissed me off. Then you just walked ahead of me. I let you walk because I'm hot. I just had surgery and I'm not chasing you down. Let me go get some water. So I stopped to get me some water. And he's all the way over there and I don't even know where he's at. And then I find him, he's just sitting there like looking stupid. So I look at him like, okay, like, let's go. So, mind you, he liked to drive everywhere. He liked to drive me everywhere, which was cool, like passenger princess, but it was a control thing because he did not like when I drove, because I would have to, I could choose my own music and stuff, and it would be music he don't want to listen to, and I would like, he would like also never drive with his seatbelt on, and I would tell him like, put your seatbelt on, like this, like, and he'd be like, no, I'm not gonna put the seatbelt on in my car. Like, literally, we would literally have arguments about the stupidest, dumbest stuff, y'all. So, anyhow, I'm hot. All this stuff, we finally go back, and he still gives me the flowers, which was nice, but he only had a card. She didn't take cards, so she said, oh, you could just cash at me after, later, or something, blah blah blah. Who knows if he ever sent the girl the money, but that wasn't my problem. So anyways, y'all, we left. Okay, so y'all, so during this surgery thing, I was still moving and grooving. I shouldn't have been out like that. Now, he wanted to go to the movies. I tell him, y'all, at this time my leg is hurting. Like, I am literally nervous. My leg is hurting and stuff like that, and it's like in pain. I said, oh my gosh, I think I need to go to the hospital. I think I have a blood clot. Mind y'all, we was doing the do like a week ago. I think I wasn't supposed to be doing that. I don't know if that's what caused the blood clot or the fact that I was at the zoo. I was doing a lot of stuff, okay? So anyways, y'all, I'm like, oh my God, my leg, I need to go to the hospital. I'm telling him I'm in pain, this is this. He tells me like, you're okay, like you're overreacting, you're fine, like we should go to the movies. Mind you, we don't have the tickets, nothing. So it's not like, oh my God, he paid for the tickets, now we're gonna miss the movie. No, it's like clearly he just cares about himself, to the fact it's like, I don't care that you think you might have a blood clot, you're overreacting, we're going to the movies. So I call the nurse and I tell the nurse like, hey, like this is how my leg feels and blah blah blah. And she's like, you need to go to the emergency room right now. Like, you do not need to wait, you need to go. You need to go now. To the closest emergency room. So she was panicked, I was panicked, and I tell him, I said, hey, I just got off the phone with my nurse and she thinks it's a blood clot. I need to go to the hospital. Like, I need to go to the hospital. Are you going to take me to the hospital? Do y'all know the man had the nerve to say, do I have a choice? Do I have a choice? So I tell him, I said, do you have a choice? Like, I can get somebody else to take me to the hospital. You don't have to take me to the hospital. Mind you, at this point, I'm out of surgery. I can't drive yet. Like, you got to wait a certain amount of time to be able to drive. So I'm like, I can get somebody else. Like, if you can't do it. And he was like, no, I'm going to take you. I'm going to take you. I'm going to take you. I'm like, I can get somebody else. He's like, no, I'm going to take you. So we go to the emergency room. And we're in there for hours. And lo and behold, I have a blood clot in my leg. I have a blood clot in my leg. And I also am having a hard time breathing, to find out I have a blood clot in my lungs. So the blood clot was traveling up from my legs, broke off to my lungs, and almost to my heart. I could have died. If this man literally let me go sit in a movie theaters, first of all, I shouldn't be stationary for too many hours. You got me sitting in movie theaters while my life is on the line. So I start crying like, oh my gosh, like, because my worst fear was like, not my worst fear, but I always felt like I was going to get a blood clot, but I thought I was going to get a blood clot from my birth control. So like, I was just like, bawling my eyes out, like, oh my gosh, what have I done? Like, was it worth it? Mind you, my weight loss surgery was worth it. Praise the Lord. Thank you, God. I'm still here to see another day. And I would never take it back for the world. I'm telling you right now, I would never go. Like, I don't even care. If I knew that was going to be my last day, I would have never not done it. I'm sorry. Changed my entire life. So anyhow, I'm crying and crying, and so he comes over, he starts wiping my tears and stuff, which was very sweet. Like, that warmed my heart, that he was wiping my tears and stuff. He's like, it's okay, like, it's fine, like, we found out, stuff like that. But in the back of my head, I'm pissed off too. Like, you could have took me out of here, took me out of life because you want to go to the movie theaters. Are you serious? Are you nuts? Like, are you dumb? So at this point, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, this man is crazy. Okay, so after that has happened, we talk about it a different day at the house. We were talking and stuff, and he was like, well, didn't you know that this could be a possibility, getting this surgery? Like, didn't you know that, like, this could happen to you? So why are you acting like you? So, and I'm like, he literally had no empathy for people. He did not know how to, like, literally be gentle and affectionate. Like, he was like an asshole, literally. Everybody got one. He was an asshole, like, a tight one. I'm telling you. So I'm like, okay, at this point, I'm like, he's weird. Like, there's a lot of weird things going on. I don't know if it's because I'm losing weight. Is he jealous? Is he not attracted to me because I'm losing weight? What is it because I'm not doing all the things we used to do? Like, I can't drink, I can't eat. I remember one day, literally, he got Chipotle, my favorite food, while I was on a liquid diet. He comes to my house and said, oh, you know, I had stopped at Chipotle. I'm on my way in. I said, well, you better eat that Chipotle in that car. Because, mind you, I had a food addiction. Like, I literally could not stop eating Chipotle. Like, you better not bring Chipotle in my house while I'm on a liquid diet, while I'm getting my life, my body together. And he was like, are you serious right now? I'm like, yes, I am dead serious. I am the most serious. Like, if I get any more serious than this, baby, you're going to think I'm a judge. You're going to think you're in court. So you better stay up in that car, or you ain't coming in this house at all. So he ends up eating his food in the car and stuff, and like, he finds it weird. Like, he just kept bringing a bunch of garbage food around me. Mind you, that's just how he eats. And then it's me, like, going into a healthy lifestyle. Like, I just started feeling disgusted with him. Like, like, all you do is eat junk food. Like, all you do is drink, smoke vapes, like, smoke weed. Like, you're literally disgusting to me. Like, it was getting to a point where it's like, he started to disgust me. Like, you don't even eat no cat. Like, it ain't hitting on nothing. Like, baby, like, this is getting bad. Like, it was getting bad. And this is the longest I really stuck something through, because I was in therapy, because I'm like, wanting to register my feelings so that I just wouldn't go back when I broke it off with him. So, y'all, literally, I remember we did have like some sensual time. Like I said, when I got that blood clot, he bought me some lingerie and I put it on. We was cool. Like, we had a fun time. But I noticed that we only literally had good connections intimately and like emotionally when he was drunk. Like, drunk. That's when he would be affectionate and want to hug and want to kiss and stuff like that. So, mind you, we were going through a lot of emotions during this time. And we have plans to go to a wedding together. We have plans to go to my first ever wedding. Never been to a wedding. Mind you, I can't drink because I had surgery. I have to wait 6 months to drink. So I get a dress. The dress is so beautiful. I remember back then there was a size 18. And I was so amazed that I could fit in a size 18. I'm going to put a picture of me. Like, I was so amazed. But, like, now I'm freaking size 8. So, it's like, it was insane, though. Like, I used to be a size 22, sometimes a 20. So, I was like, oh, my gosh, like, this dress looks amazing on me. And I looked amazing. And I remember we were supposed to coordinate. Like, he bought a suit, which I did appreciate. But mind you, he wants to look good. It's not about me. It's about his image. So he bought a suit and stuff like that. I went with him to pick out the suit. My dress, during the time I got my dress, me and him was like at odds. I didn't want to see him at the time. Like, he had pissed me clean off. I don't even know what we argued about that time. But I was just like, I don't want to see you. So at this time, like, I don't know. Oh, I think at that time we was talking about being in a situationship. Like, I just feel like I don't want to be with somebody that I'm in a situationship with, but it seems like a relationship. Like, this is not, I'm not doing anymore. So at that time, he was like, well, you need to let me know, like, if we're done or we're not done. Like, I just want to make sure, like, you're trying to, like, you know that even when marriages you have issues where you have to like handle it, stick through all that stuff. Like he would manipulate me into thinking like I just need to stick it through and like work through problems. So anyways, y'all, when I went dress shopping, I didn't have his support because we were arguing. I didn't even want to talk to him. I didn't want to FaceTime him and show him the dress. I picked the dress that I wanted. It just said, okay, it's going to go with his suit, period. So we did rekindle because he calls me and talks on the phone like, are we still going to the wedding? And I'm like, okay, sure. I've already told him I had a +1. Like, let's just do this. We go to this wedding. Baby, this man gets sloppy drunk. Mind you, it's an open bar. He's sloppy, like leaning over, like sloppy. And I'm sober. And he's eating a steak. And he drops the steak on his dress shirt. Got a stain on his dress shirt. He looks a fucking mess. Like, he looks like a fool. And then to me, I'm like, this is embarrassing. Mind you, my friend and her, like, because it was my friend's mom wedding, like, they didn't care because everybody was getting tipsy. But, like, he was getting to the point where it's like, you're a mess. So before he started getting tipsy, like one of my friends' aunts like, oh, let me take a picture of y'all. Like, are y'all together? Like, are y'all a couple? Or like, are y'all like not? Like, she literally had asked. I'm like, yeah, we're together. Like, she's like, okay, well, get close. Like, act like it. I'm like, when somebody tell you that, baby, y'all need to end the relationship then. So we get close. It was awkward. When he got drunk, the aunt came back and like, okay, now y'all look like a couple. Like, let me get a picture of y'all. So, like, I'm sure they still got pictures, but I'm not friends with the friend anyway. So, anyhow, like, he all cuddled up with me after. He kissing me, smacking my ass. Y'all, at a wedding. Of course, it's the reception time, but still. Like, you're frisky, rubbing him. Like, are you serious? So, at this point, I'm, like, embarrassed. I'm tired of him. Like, it's more not, I'm not even caring about other people. I'm just caring about myself. Like, I'm tired of this man. Like, he has a problem. So, at this point, he goes missing. I don't know where he's at, and I'm ready to go home. So I'm looking for him left and right, left and right. Cannot find this man. I finally find him downstairs, sleep on a chair. And I tell my friend, I'm like, girl, I gotta go. She's like, no, he's fine. Just let him, like, he's okay. Like, and then her man was like, Joanna, like, please don't leave him. Like, please just don't. Like, this man is a good man. I'm like, boy, bye. I know a bad man when I see it. This man is not a good man. Like, please. He's not even a man. He's a boy. So at this point, I know we're about to be done. Like, we're going to be done very soon, very shortly. So we still try to stick this stuff out, y'all. And the last final straw that's so petty is we had a 4th of July party, like, coming up. Like, me and him had a lot of celebrations. Like, he came to my birthday. He came to the wedding with me. We were going to celebrate the 4th of July together. He was gone on New Year's Eve or something. So, we didn't celebrate New Year's Eve together. But anyhow, y'all, why did this man... So, I'm like, okay, I'm trying to get it on. Like, it's been a while. Mind you, I could get his frustration. By the way, y'all, I was on blood thinners. When you're on blood thinners, you can't really, like, do because you're bleeding for forever. That's TMI, but you really are. Like, that's what I don't like about blood thinners. So a lot of times we couldn't do it because I'm like, you know, I'm on blood thinners. And he was patient with me. So finally, I'm done with my blood thinners. I'm ready to get it on and popping. I put on some lingerie. He's at my house. He started acting weird. Like, there's a point where he started acting weird towards me. I don't know if it was like because my body was shifting. Because mind you, he made a comment because my brother, I was outside with my dog. My brother used to live in the same apartment building as me. And my brother was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know that was you. Like, I didn't recognize you. Like, you've lost so much weight that I didn't even recognize you. Mind you, this is the beginning stages. Probably by this point, I maybe have lost like 50 pounds or something like that. On top of the maybe 30 that I had lost before surgery or whatnot. So anyhow, he was like, I didn't even recognize you. That's why I kept going and driving. I'm like, are you serious? So I went back in. I told Gemini, I'm like, oh, my brother said, like, he didn't even recognize me. Do you think I'm, like, losing that much weight? Because you get body dysmorphia. You can't tell. And he was like, yeah, like, you're losing weight. And that's how he said it. Like, I'm like, because you a hater hoe? Period. So then, y'all, when I try to get frisky with him, he acting weird. Like, oh, like, you know, I gotta go home. Like, I'm tired. Like, we have tomorrow. We were supposed to do so, like, go to the pool tomorrow. He's like, oh, we gotta go to the pool tomorrow. Like, I'm gonna see you tomorrow. So, girl, why did I get in a whole lingerie outfit? And he was like, oh, like, what's that for? Da da da. So I'm thinking he's trying to role play. I can't believe I put this on the internet, but this is not truth. I don't even care. I don't care about this nigga no more. I don't care about nothing. This happened almost 2 years ago. So he was like, oh, like, I'm thinking he trying to role play. I'm like, oh, I'm putting this on for the 4th of July. You know, like, I'm trying to, like, spice it up. Y'all know how I do. And then he was like, oh, okay, like, well, something about you wearing that for the 4th of July. I don't know what, like, he literally was acting like he really believed that I'm wearing this outfit for the 4th of July. Nigga, I'm wearing this so you can bust me down. Are you serious? So I'm like, are you serious right now? Like, he was like, well, I like, gotta go home. I'm tired. And, like, we're gonna go to the pool tomorrow. And I'm like, yeah, but, like, I'm trying to do something tonight. Like, what is you talking about? Like, you're being weird. And he was like, oh, no, I thought that was really for the 4th of July. Like, I was about to go home. I'm like, okay, like, do you just go home? And then he was like, oh, well, like, I mean, we can, like, if you want to do. And I'm like, no, I'm not trying to be forceful with it. Like, are you serious? So right then and there, I felt like he wasn't attracted to me no more. And I think maybe because I was getting smaller. Like, I'm not trying to cap. I'm not trying to do too much or whatever. But I think he was feeling something internally, and maybe because he was getting bigger and I was getting smaller. I have no clue. But it was very weird. So I'm like, okay. So he was like, okay, so I'll see you tomorrow for the pool party. I'm like, no, you won't see me tomorrow. So he's like, okay. I'm like, yeah, okay. See you later. So after that, I text him. I told him, like, we're done. We're done. Please just drop off my parking pass, because he had my parking pass. He had my visitor's parking pass because he was always at my house, like, every day. Every other day. So it's like, I just got him a parking pass. Like, give me my parking pass back just because I want other visitors or somebody else to come through. So he comes to bring my parking pass, and I have all his stuff gathered, little trinkets that he left at my house, ready to go, and give it to him. And he's all smirking and stuff. I'm in my little booty athletic shorts, baby. I'm looking good, okay? I'm still big at this point, but I'm giving thick. I'm not big. I'm like 200, but I'm giving thick, but like smaller thick. Like, I'm coming through, period. So he all smiling and shit, because I think he think like, oh, we're about to rekindle, we about to talk. So I said, here you go, have a good day. That's all I said to him. I walked back in the house. That's it. Never spoke to him again. Then he texted me talking about some, oh, literally, y'all, a year, like, he just texted me this a few months ago. A year later, you're gonna text me talking about some, oh, did I leave a watch at your house? And I'm like, you know you ain't leave no watch at my house, so what is the real reason you hit me up? Like, literally, that's what I tell him. And then he was like, no, like, for real, can you check? Like, it was a gold watch with some gold sneaky links. By the way, it's at night. I don't know if he's drunk or high. I don't know what he's on. Is he playing games? But I just read that shit and left him on red. Like, and I got my red messages on. Like, boy, bye. Like, boy, bye. But, y'all, he was just doing wild stuff. For his birthday, I did take him out to eat for his birthday. And I bought him, like, a Chanel cologne. Because, mind you, for my birthday, he bought me a Gucci perfume. Like, he did do sweet stuff. But then he was so drunk on his birthday. He was hopping. First of all, he was driving. I'm like, no, you shouldn't drive. Let me drive. He's like, no, I'm a drive. He was like, going to the stop sign, hopping out the car, dancing, getting back in. Like, you trying to go to jail? Like, are you trying, like, he was just irrational. He was impulsive, and he was, you know, those people that like those thrills, like adrenaline rushes. Like, that's the type of guy he was. Like, we went to an airplane place so he can jump out of airplane. Like, he just be doing shit. That's it. So, y'all, that's my story about dating a crazy Gemini. He was gonna risk me dying to go to the movie theaters. Anyways, y'all, that just shows I was a clown back then, and I was dating nothing but clowns. But I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.